instances where the content of debate is considered misleading, defamatory, or potentially inappropriate to be published. Attendees are advised that they may be subject to legal action if their actions result in inappropriate and/or unacceptable behavior and/or comments. Please note that this meeting is being recorded and is also being live streamed, and that all/some attendees are participating by video conference. Accordingly, please be aware that other people may be able to see you, and take care not to screen share your computer. Anything that you broadcast may be captured by the recording. Thank you. In accordance with Section 44-1 of the Planning Act, the Council of the Township of Ramara has appointed this Committee of Adjustment to hear applications for variances to the zoning bylaw and applications for consent to sever land. The members of this committee are private citizens who are not members of council, nor are they employees. Committee members are provided with information about each application prior to the public hearing to enable them to review the sections of the township's bylaws which are relevant and to make a site visit if needed. No discussion of applications occur, nor will any decisions be made outside of the public hearing. The procedure for hearing applications is as follows. 1. The Secretary-Treasurer will describe the application and the extent of its processing to date. Number 2. The applicant or agent will be asked for his or her comments. Number 3. Members of the audience will be asked for their comments. Number 4. The applicant may then provide further information. Number 5. Committee members will then provide questions or comments to be followed by the decision of the committee. A written copy of the notice of decision will be sent to the applicant and anyone who provides the Secretary-Treasurer with a written request, including their full name and address. Decisions of this committee may be appealed to the Ontario Land Tribunal by the applicant, a minister, or a specified person or public body. The procedure is included with the notice of decision, and if you wish to be advised of a possible land tribunal hearing, you must request in writing a copy of this committee's decision. Once the application has been heard by the committee and the 20-day appeal period has ended, the application sign should be removed from your property. The sign can be returned to the township for reuse or recycling. Thank you very much.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the November Committee of Adjustment meeting. I'm going to introduce our committee, and to my left is Dan Walker. Next to him is Tom Truax. To my right, Dan McMillan. I'm acting chair, Randy Warren. Please ensure that all cell phones are silenced so that an orderly meeting may be maintained. Next on the agenda, is there any disclosure of pecuniary interest on any of the applications this morning? Seeing none, I guess we'll go on with application 4.1. I believe the owner has requested a minor variance, and Chris, I believe we need to have a motion to have that voted on.
So I can go over a brief overview of it.
Okay, go ahead.
And then, yeah, perfect. So I'll just share my screen here. Okay. Let's make sure that is showing up for everyone. Okay, so we are discussing permission application A1325 at 7360 Glen Ellen Drive. And it's a rural designated lot in the county official plan, shoreline residential designated lot under Ramara official plan, and it's in the SR zone in the township zoning bylaw. This application was submitted by Jeff Smith on behalf of himself and Irene Smith as owners of the subject lands to seek permission to demolish the existing legal non-conforming boathouse that includes attached docking, a rooftop deck with a connection ramp. And the proposal is to replace and expand the rooftop deck and connection ramp portion only. Relief is required from the minimum setback to the average high water mark for this proposed partial replacement and expansion, having an approximate footprint of approximately 23.77 square meters, and its connection ramp having an approximate footprint of 3.71 square meters. And the proposal will require a 1 meter variance from the 15-meter minimum setback, as there is a 1 meter setback proposed. Sorry, so it requires I think I need to fix this table here. I think I pasted the wrong table, but the proposed is one meter setback with a 14-meter variance. And here is just a survey showing the existing boathouse, dock, and its connection ramp. And then we also just have a cross section showing the existing cross section and the proposed, just confirming the height staying the same, and that it's being reduced toward the landward side. In terms of the staff report highlights, this application in terms of the desirability for the construction, the decking does align with the permitted uses in the SR zone, accessory to the existing residence. And the existing structure does date to approximately 1949. And as seen in the staff report photos, it does need a replacement. In terms of any impacts to the surrounding lands or neighborhood, the replacement is only toward the land, and the existing structure protruding in the water, that's no longer the case. So this reduces the potential for water hazards exposure. So there's also no new living space proposed or hazard aggravation compared to what is there. There is not foreseen to be impacts to the surrounding neighborhood in terms of the use or any conflictions that way. The closest setback to a neighbor lot line is about 3.58 meters. And the drainage can all be maintained within the property's private property. In terms of the use, the zoning bylaw under section 210D does allow like for like replacement. However, anything new, any new dimensions, whether height or otherwise, must meet current setbacks. Therefore, a minor expansion, permission is required here. And then the existing decking over 15 square meters within the high watermark setback, in staff's opinion, may continue as a legal non-conforming structure. Should the committee find it appropriate to approve the subject application for the permission for the enlargement or extension of what is deemed to be a legal non-conforming use, building and or structure under subsections 45.2A and 45.2B of the Planning Act, the following reasons can be provided. The first is that the proposal is appropriate and desirable for the appropriate and orderly development of the land. The proposal is not triggering adverse impacts to the surrounding lands and neighborhood. And thirdly, the proposed use conforms to the general intent of Ramara zoning bylaw as amended. Recommended condition is that the proposed reconstruction and expansion of the legal non-conforming deck and its connection ramp construction shall be in general conformity with the plans and materials submitted with this application, permission application file A1325. The suggested motion is that the Committee of Adjustment receives staff report number BP 4225 published to the November 4th, 2025 meeting agenda, and that permission application file A1325 be approved as presented with the recommended condition. And then the alternatives are that the committee could amend the suggested motion, defer or deny the application. Thank you.
Carissa, are you Mr. Smith, sir? Would you like to come forward and give your name for the record? Just lift that mic up and push the button in the center till the red light comes on.
I'm on. Okay, my name is Jeff Smith. You want to speak in favor of the application, you mean? Oh, okay. Oh, well, it's 75 years old. It got damaged 2 winters ago, and it's no good the way it is now. And my only option right now, well, I have a couple of options actually. One is to tear it down and build new, but that's probably going to cost the better part of $200,000. And that just doesn't make economic sense. And the other one is we had a gentleman in to lift it, replace the foundation and reclad it, but that was a very similar price. It was up around $190,000. So honestly, well, for one thing, we just can't afford that. And it just doesn't make economic sense to do it because I don't think it's going to add that kind of value to the land. So the thing we like most about this boathouse is the deck on top. Because of the water so shallow on Couchiching, which you're probably aware, I can't have my boat in there past about middle of July because the water recedes so much. So then it goes outside onto the side of the dock, and then it's got to come out about the middle of August. So the biggest thing, as I say, is the use of the deck on top. And we've missed it these last 2 summers. So our plan now is, our thoughts were, get rid of the boathouse and just have a deck on top, or rather create a deck. Currently, the deck on top is 16 by 32. It's a great deck, but now we can't use it. It's leaning and it's dangerous, so we can't use it at all. So what we'd like to do is replace it with a deck only half the size, 16 by 16, but move it closer to the shore. A couple of things it does is it's smaller to maintain, but it also, any posts that go down to support it, because it's going to be an elevated deck 8 feet high off the ground, because the way our lot goes, it drops about 6-7 feet at the end on the water side. We would take the boathouse down, extend the shoreline, I'm going to want to put limestone across, or armor stone rather, to go across and backfill behind it. But we're not extending it any further than the natural shoreline. By going 16 by 16, we don't have to put any piers into the water. And we'd love to go bigger, but we'd have to put piers into the water, and that becomes a whole other expense and, of course, more permission. So essentially what we're doing is doing half the size, moving it closer to the shoreline. And that's what we're looking for permission to do. The neighbors will not object, by the way. Oh, I'm sorry, I shouldn't, maybe they have objected, but I can't imagine them objecting, because right now the neighbor on the north side always sees this big side of the boathouse, and the neighbor on the south side, she looks and sees the big side of the boathouse. Both of them are fine with it. Matter of fact, we're going to use the neighbor's land to the south to bring in all the equipment. She's fine with that.
It's good, sir, because the neighbors were notified if they had any concerns at all, they could have replied to it.
Yes.
Or let you
And,
know.
and I wasn't aware whether anybody had applied at all.
Yeah. Okay. Dan, would you like to start off, please?
Yeah, it sounds like a great plan.
Yeah.
And that was one of the concerns we always have, if the neighbors are happy with it, and they seem to be, and that's great. And I did a site visit, and I have no concerns.
Tom?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Dan, no.
Yes, I did a site visit also, and it's a kind of unique piece of property, the way it drops right down there. The boathouse is in rough shape there now. And like you say, the neighbors to the north there, they're got their shore wall out there. And if there's no concerns from the neighbors that come in, I agree with the report and have no problem with it.
Thank you. Yes, I visited the property, and you do have a nice lot, and it looks like a nice sandy beach there, although the water is very low right now. So what you're basically proposing is that the new deck, raised deck, there'll be no columns in the water itself. It'll be all on the land.
All on the land.
Okay, that was the only question I had to ask. And this, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that building's got to come down before it falls down. So I have no concerns with this application. And I think what you've done is take a balance between what you would like and the cost it's going to cost you, and decide that that's the way you want to go. And I think that's a good plan.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I didn't see any of you guys.
Well, I was
Sorry, you
there,
said
I
you
was,
went and inspected. I didn't see
I
anybody.
was there on Sunday afternoon and I believe you were sitting in a chair in the house, but you didn't notice me come in. Yeah, I walked right down the steps
Oh, okay.
and walked around the front of the boathouse and like so that.
Good thing I don't have a dog.
Anyway, sir, so the way it stands right now, I think we're all in agreement. Could I have a motion to approve this application? Moved by Dan Walker, second by Tom Truax. All those in favor? You're good to go, sir.
Thank you.
Carissa, before we carry on, the minor application 4-1, do we need to have a vote on that for the deferral or not?
My apologies. I meant to highlight that before, but yes, A12, 3906 Glenrest, they did request it to be deferred.
Yeah.
They are able to put in that request. And as long as it's, not during the meeting, then we don't need a formal motion to defer it. Unless you want to put a stipulation, because we changed the rules of procedure so that after a year, I am triggered to send notification to the applicant saying, if no intention or other plan is to provide to continue with this file, then we will close it within 30 days. So we have that process. If the committee would like to provide like a, I don't know that there's stipulations in the Planning Act that we could provide like a shorter deferral date. I think we have in the past done, deferred for 6 months or that kind of thing. So if the committee is interested in doing anything like that, I have our planner online. I'm going to
Okay.
jump to Jen.
Go
One
ahead,
moment.
Jen.
Good morning, everyone. Because they requested the application be deferred before it's in front of committee, there doesn't need to be any discussion on the topic, and they'll just return when they're ready. Any administrative work, that kind of stuff we'll do on our end, but no, the committee shouldn't make a decision about approving a deferral because you are not the ones deciding that it's being deferred. The applicant requested it before the hearing.
Okay. Very good. Thank you, Jen. So that's discussion was finalized then. So moving forward, Carissa, to minor variance file 4.3, file A1425, 5838 Victoria Park Road. Would you like to, and first off, is there someone from that application that is on Zoom?
Yes, we have Dan.
If you would let them on now would be fine, and they can hear your what you have to say.
Dan, are you able to hear me?
I am. Good morning, Chair and members of council.
Good morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
Great. So I'll do a brief overview and then we can proceed. Okay. So again, 5838 Victoria Park Road, it's a rural designated lot according to the county's official plan, and it's in the shoreline residential designation under Ramara's official plan, and in the transfer road zone according to the Ramara zoning bylaw. So this minor variance application file A1425 has been submitted by Dan Lesperance with Beyond Custom Contracting Inc., applicant on behalf of Jillian and Timothy Bishop, who are the owners of the subject lands, requesting relief from the accessory building max height provision to construct an approximately 90.11 square meter garage. And their proposal requires a 1.83 meter variance to the required 5 meter height, as the proposed height is 6.83 meters. The property currently has building permits for a new single family dwelling and the garage. The garage includes a 2nd-story dormer for storage and workspace. And the unique configuration requires relief from the zoning bylaw to continue its construction. So here's a site plan showing that location of the garage and conforming in with the SRTR setback. So 7.5 at the front and 1.5 to the side yard. All good in terms of placement on the lot. Here is a cross section of different building elevations actually, but the main here is the unique dormer. Because our definition of our zoning bylaw defines, defines height as the average grade of the ground measurement to the mid peak of the roof. And usually it's between the peak and the eave and the midpoint, but when you have these unique dormer styles, it's the taller measurement you would take. So that's why the height is kind of unique, the different measurement depending on which elevation you measure from. Okay, so in terms of the report on this application and staff's planning analysis, this application for the garage, it is the garage permitted use in the SR zone, so that works there. And there is infrastructure and servicing available on the property, so it's on a open public road that is maintained and has a private septic system. The use is compatible with surrounding residential character. In terms of the garage itself, there's other garages on other residential lots in proximity. The garage does conform to the setbacks, site coverage, and use in general. The height relief is required due to the unique dormer configuration. And the garage does still remain subordinate to the dwelling, so that which is the intent of the zoning bylaw. In terms of desirability for the construction of the garage, the functional second story, the dormer does allow for better functional access to the second story proposed. And the washroom is supported by a septic system that's been reviewed by the building department. And the garage use is desired in general, accessory to a residence. Generally, residential occupants would like a garage. And then in terms of the aspect of the application, the nature of the application is considered minor. Most of the garage is under 5.55 meters, although the dormer does reach 6.83 meters. It's not anticipated to have adverse impacts to the surrounding lands or disruption to the neighborhood's character. Should the committee find it appropriate to approve the variance application, A1425, the following reasons can be provided. The general intent and purpose of the official plan will be maintained. The general intent and purpose of the zoning bylaw will be maintained. The requested variance is desirable for the appropriate and orderly development or use of the subject lands, building, or structure, and the requested variance is minor in nature. The recommended condition for approval of this application is that the construction of the proposed garage shall be in general conformity with the plans and materials submitted with minor variance application file A1425. The suggested motion is that the Committee of Adjustment receive staff report BP 4325 published the November 4th, 2025 meeting agenda, and that minor variance application A1425 be approved as presented with the recommended condition. The alternatives are that the committee could amend the suggested motion, defer, or deny the application. Thank you.
I believe we have the applicant's agent on here. If you would like to discuss this further, sir, go ahead.
Thank you very much, members of the committee, for hearing this motion and this potential change. Very beautiful working in your township, and I have to commend your planning staff right off the bat for their patience and fielding my calls, and Miss Barker for kind of expediting and organizing all of this. So thank you very much. It's a very unique situation with this dormer. It is due to accessibility for a beautiful retired couple relocating from the Orangeville area into this township. This is forever for them. They have made great sacrifices for us over 32 years of career in the federal government, coming up to a very important day in 7 days from now. So I don't want to disclose too much, but greatly appreciate these people as customers and your council's time. So thank you very much. And if you have any questions for me, please feel free.
Hey, thank you, sir. I guess there's no one else that has any discussion that's on Zoom. So I believe we will go to our committee. Dan McMillan, your comments, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I did a site visit and stuff, new home going up, nice log home and gonna be a nice log garage. I have no issue with it, just a couple of questions either to the applicant or to staff, where it says the subject lands in proximity to this. Some of the uses are destination commercial, that's Village of Rama, and airport uses. I'm just not aware of the airport uses. If somebody can enlighten me.
So outside of the Ramara boundaries, there is the airport, like near Tailwinds. I can pull that up. But yeah, so there's an airport in proximity. So I can go on the mapping, but it's not really relevant to the application. It's more just pointing out, it's a residential property on a residential neighborhood street. And then kind of more like further surrounding, there is an airport in proximity. There's a Chippewa Rama First Nation community. So I can pull up that here.
Just a question. Are you referring to the Aurelia Rama Airport, Lake St. John? Oh, okay. That's miles away.
Yeah.
Right. That was my only concern, Mr. Chair.
Yeah.
Hold on a second.
I'm just gonna wait for Carissa to finish looking at something.
Maybe I'm just thinking about it's the marinas. Maybe I've got that wrong. They're definitely, yeah. So perhaps I mixed up that commercial use. I apologize. I can update that. But for some reason I thought there was an airport around here. But yeah, I can look into that and update for the minutes.
Okay.
In the report if needed.
Thank you, Carissa.
No problem.
Tom, your comments.
I have no problems.
Okay, Dan?
I also did a site visit. That house is gonna look great. I have no concerns.
Thank you, Dan. I did a site visit. Sir, to you, the plumbing that's in the garage, that's never intended for human habitation, is it?
It is not. It's a craft space upstairs for
Okay.
this retired couple.
Okay, I just double checking because I could see all the plumbing that was coming up through the concrete. Yeah, the only other comment that I can make is I might have been better if the sign were a bit better placed. You had to look twice. It's unfortunately, I guess it was whoever put the sign up didn't idea that maybe should be facing the road. But anyways, as far as the project is concerned, because the way we take our elevations from the midway point of the point of the peak, it does sound like we're stretching it out a lot, but actually it's a very simple way to calculate it. And if it hadn't been for that one dormer, you almost pretty well would have been within the specified regulations anyway. So, sir, I'm quite able to support this application, and I think we'll have a vote here now. I think we're pretty much all in favor. Moved by Dan McMillan, seconder by Tom Truax. All those in favor? It's carried, sir. So, sir, you can tell your client that everything is go ahead.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you,
Great.
sir.
Great pleasure and experience. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Minutes, moving forward, minutes of the last meeting. Has everyone had a chance to review them? And are there errors, additions or amendments that need to be made? If not, I would ask for a motion to approve the minutes. Moved by Dan McMillan, second by Dan Walker, that the minutes of the October meeting be approved as presented. Moving on, what's on the next page here? I think, Carissa, you do have on new or unfinished business, the revised 2026 application cutoff dates and meeting dates. Would you like to go into that a little further then and
So just, there was, the June date for the July cutoff was a Sunday instead of like a Monday, like the actual, the date itself, the number. So that number change was updated. And then the October meeting date and cutoff date was just changed. There's the September has a holiday and we want to keep it with the second Tuesday generally, but we also have to make sure that the application timelines, so that the cutoff date compared to the meeting date, that there's, no more than 30 days. The only exception is for the January meeting because the township does close for that week. So we do allow for that extra, but it was just a slight update to make sure that it made sense, that it's generally with the second Tuesday. But that was the only changes, but we just wanted to get that confirmation if the committee was fine with that.
do you need, you don't need any, do you need a vote on that or not?
Let me just see if I have
Carissa, they can just receive it as information.
yeah,
We already approved the original one, right?
Very good then.
Yes,
Thanks, Jen.
yes.
So just receive it as information.
Very good.
perfect, thank you.
And you'll, at our next meeting, you'll give us the revised,
I have it
meeting-
printed. I'll grab that for you as soon as the meeting's over. I'll,
okay then.
yeah.
Thank you then.
No problem.
Any new or unfinished business that any member would like to bring up at this time? Very good. Then I ask that we have a mover and a second into for adjournment. Moved by Tom, second by Dan McMillan to adjourn the meeting at 10:02 a.m.